Hopefully we are live. I hope you can hear me, guys. Is the audio fine? Does someone say if the audio is fine or not? Hello. Okay, so this is the part 2 of the stream. I'll be Hey Minank, welcome to the stream. So yes, I hope you are able to hear me fine. So I'll be continuing to build this ErgoCape prototype keyboard. In the last stream I did the diodes and Pro Micro. I'll be now okay. So yeah, audio seems to be fine. So I've already done the SMD diodes and Pro Micro and the TRS jack in the previous stream. Now I'll be doing switches and stabs, and hopefully if we have time I'll do the QMK firmware and do a quick rundown through that. So I was just doing some test on stabs, so the fitment is fine. So I'll go and tune the stabs with some lube. So this is what a switch contains. Okay, so this is a stem, right? This is the spring, and this is the bottom. You can see the copper colored leaf in that, right? And this is the top of the housing. So the switch popping out like this was not in the program. I'm just fixing it back in. Yeah. So I'll use this switch puller to take out all the switches. So for this build I'll be using these white clicky switches from Kale. These are called box white switches. Guys, is the stream fine on your end? I'm getting a message that there is an issue. Okay, thanks for confirmation, Minank. Where is my Allen key? One moment, guys. I need something. Yeah, okay. We are good, we are good. So I was looking for this. The elusive and hard to currently get in India, the C3 stabs, which are being provided with this kit. So this is what it will contain. So what I currently need is the Allen key to open them. So these are screw-in style stabs. So you have to basically screw in them. Do I spy box white? Yes, you will see these are box white. This will be the switch that will be going on this keyboard, which I am building for a guide, as well as it will be used by Saif Pandian. I'm not sure if he is on the stream right now, but that is the person who will be using this keyboard once this is completely done. The only problem with screw-in stabs is you have to be very careful with the screws. Otherwise, if you lose them, they are those so tiny that it becomes hard to find them. Okay, I was doing it off camera. I'll do it on the camera now. Just one thing to remember, guys, these washers are important when you are installing them on the keyboard. Sometimes, so in this PCB there is no contact points nearby, right? This is the place where these will go in. So in this particular PCB there is no contact, all right? So these are fine, but in a lot of PCBs there will be small diodes or pads that will be connecting, right? So the washer are mostly non-conductive. They are either like this in some kind of cardboard material, or they are plastic. So they are there to avoid any short due to the metallic screw, right? And we have C3 stabs. This is what I'll be using, and this is what will be provided in the kit. Now, one thing important when you are using any kind of lube, any kind of stabilizer, is to lube them. So that is what I'll be doing right now. So it's hard to get it out right now from the body. Yeah, so I am using something called a Cryotox 205 for the stabs. And to lube the stabs, there are main 2 points that you want to lube. So the stabilizer wire, which is this, will sit in this slot, and where the plastic meets metal, that is the place where you will have to provide or do some lubing. Grade 2 or grade 0, I believe this one is, it doesn't mention grade, I think it is grade 0. I'm not particularly sure about the grade of this, right? So one point is this, the place where the wire bends, and the other is where the plastic insert will sit on the wire. These are the two places on the stab wire you want to basically provide lube. Now some people like to lube the sides of the stab inserts. I will not be doing that. So how to know orientation of your stabs? So the outer body has only one opening where the wire will sit, right? That is the place where the wire will go through. On the insert, the inner body, there are two sides, one which has two openings and one which has a single opening. The wire will come from the side where there are two openings, and it will go into the bottom part, this hole. This is the place where the stab will go in. Lube is very important. Yeah, it is. Makes everything go in easy. So this is how an assembled stab will look like. So this is the side where it will go on. Let me quickly do the other stab. I'll try to do it as much as in front of camera as possible. So again, part of the wire which meets the plastic is where you will have to provide your lube. So you can okay, I forgot to put the lube on this side. I forgot to, yeah, that's fine now. So two are done. So for this side of the PCB, so this is the left hand, and I will need only two stabs on this. So I'm done on this side for now. So how do you put in the stabilizer? There is a process to it. So I'll be stabilizing this thumb key, right? And it has two holes on each side, right? One is the bigger one, other one is the small hole. The one with the notch, the side where there is a notch, will go inside the bigger hole and sit underneath that hole, and the screw will go through the smaller hole over here. So let me just put the washer on the screw and do a little hand tightening. Okay. So how's every day has been today? How's how is everybody coping with the COVID situation in their countries? Lot of pending work. Yeah, it's good that you have work in this situation still. I mean, it's situation is pretty bad for a lot of people. I hope this gets ended as soon as possible. Board has an important bans means no KB defense shipment incoming low. Yeah. Yeah, well, where are you from? Pune. Okay. I've been to Pune quite a bit. I was there in Feb. My sister lives in Pune. So I'm done on this PCB. I'll do the same process on this PCB as well. Just 1 minute, I need some water. So how's Pune today? It's kind of same here in Bangalore as well. Bangalore right now is getting more than 2,000 cases per day in Bangalore alone. Let me just turn up the fan. It's hot right now here. Whew. Okay. I'm just taking away or undoing these tabs on this side. बहुत ठंड है. In Bangalore में एक ये problem है, the temperature switches quite a bit. It's never consistent in Bangalore. I mean, in the morning it will be shining, so it's 6 in the morning, it will be all cloudy and look like it will rain very heavily. Then by 8 it is completely shiny, bright and sunny like it is summer, and then by 12 noon it will start to rain heavily. And that's the problem I am currently seeing in Bangalore. I mean, it's good, it's not as hot and as terrible as in Delhi, so yeah, I'm not complaining about that, but yeah, still not consistent. Yeah, Pune also has a very really nice weather. I love that. Sorry, while dealing with these tabs, I'll go off camera a bit because it needs. We have heavy rain forecast today. Woke up to sunshine. Zorboid, no, it will be a FR4 plate. This is the plate that we'll be using. No budget in prototype for aluminum plates. Yeah, so let's start lubing. FR4 is acoustic wise better. Well, it depends a lot on your case and how much echoey or hollow or rigid your case is. Since aluminum itself is quite stiff, there are chances for a lot of reverb. The sound will bounce around the case. FR4 is slightly flexible, so it can absorb somewhat better than what lube on wires. So this is GPL 205 and I believe this is grade 0, but I'm not 100% sure. So I won't be clipping the stabs. So I'll need 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4, so I have 2, I need 2 more. Okay. It's one set. And come on. 2 set. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So while assembling your stabs, you have to be clear on how use dielectric grease lasts. Use dielectric grease lasts a bit longer. No easy way to get dielectric grease in India for a decent cost. So any heavy lube that does not eat plastic is fine. It doesn't have to be very heavy, just enough to fill up the empty spaces to reduce the rattle on the stabs. I mean, dielectric grease is famous in West because that's the company that provide them. In India, not easy to get unless you are ready to pay high cost of shipping and imports. And any lube that you get in India is, till the time it is not destroying your plastic, should be fine. I mean, if you can get dielectric grease, get it. If you can afford it, get it. There's no harm in going with or without that. Wow, zero on why is rich kid. Oh, well, I am into this hobby for almost 3 years, just building up my collection and stuff. Anyways, lubes themselves are not used too much. I use Fardak lube. So, can you link it, Zorboid, the lube that you use? Did you buy it locally or on Amazon? This side is not looped. So, while lubing, under lubing is better than over lubing, because if you use too much of lubricant, due to the heaviness of the lube being used, you will slow down your stabs. So you don't want to overdo that. Also, always check that your stab is sitting flush. There is no gap in the PCB and your stab housing. It should sit perfectly level. And this is the only one gripe I have about screw and stab. The screw is too small and it takes a lot of time to get it down properly. Zorboid, can you link the stab? Oh, 1 minute. My chat is not showing. 1 minute. Guys, why is the chat box not showing up? Does it start showing in? Why is the chat box not coming? Okay, it's coming now. Great. Whew. Okay, this side is done. Did you see the or is it blocked? I don't see the link, Zorboid. It might be blocked. I'm not sure. I don't see the comment at all. it might be blocked, because YouTube has weird policies when it comes to what you can link and what you cannot link. Okay, I've seen your um, link on Discord. I can see. Yes, I can see. But it's on the phone. I am not sure if I'll be able to put it here. But what does it say? I'll open this link in a bit on the stream. I'm just making screw ready to be inserted into the stabs. I think he is. He is on MK India, yes. I think on Discord I met Zorboid on Discord. 1 minute, guys. I've dropped the screw, and this is the thing I hate about screw-in stabilizers. I mean, they are good and bad because of this stupid screw. And the worst part is these are not magnetic, so you'll have to use both of your hands to basically put them in place. I just hope we don't have clearance issue. Oh, that's a really tight fit. I need 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Okay. I have to, let's do two first. Again, guys, be very careful with these tiny screws. Well, what mod can be going on with the screw? You just screw something. I'll leave it up to you for the imagination. So far we have 4 viewers and only 2 likes. Come on guys, like this video at least. Okay. Yeah, you are right about that. There's enough lube and screw going on for an SFW tag. Well, luckily, kids really don't search for keyboard streams, do they? Come on. Aja bhai, aja, aja. I mean, okay. Now we can continue screwing again. Maybe I should restrict the video next time. I should age restrict this video next time. Then we can do as much as screwing and lubing as we want. So is there a not safe for work tag on YouTube videos as well? I know there is a age limit. Do you know, Yahul? I don't think so. Yeah, I think the age restriction thing is there on YouTube, that I can only do before and after. I'm too old to ever run into these things. Well, you are never really a child if you can access any of the internet site. I mean, if you have internet access, pretty much not safe doesn't work for you, right? I mean, it's just a myth or a placebo that people think that people will not use these things. I mean, when I was young, I used to just skip the warning. I used to skip content warning on, you can imagine the kind of sites I'm talking about. Well, that's kind of a thing, right? Those warnings are those gates. We have a meme, right, where there is a gate and both sides of the gate are open fields. Erase history. Yep. And I learned that the hard way. I learned that the hard way. And let's not get into details of that. Okay, now since the keyboard PCBs that I have made are very identical, right? The only way to identify the left from the right is this cutout. The one going on to the right hand side will have two separate cutouts. The one going on the, sorry, this is on the left hand. The one going on the left hand will have two cutouts, and one going on the right hand will have a single 2U for the backspace. So this is the where the backspace will be. So on the right hand side, it will have a 2U cutout, and on the left hand side, it will be two 1U key cutouts. Yes, Zorboid, they are from Lion Circuit. And to be very honest, I am not happy with the end product. Their printing is atrocious. I mean, look at that. Nothing is legible. Nothing. So I'll be looking for a new service soon. Now what I'm doing, so one problem with the white or kale click bar switches is that they do not have the two extra positioning stab. So they have a lot of room to move around if you don't do anything about it. I am using the cherry blacks that have those two extra pegs. I hope you are able to see. Yeah, these two extra stabs. So this will help me keeping the plate in position, in a fixed position relative to the PCB. So surface finish is HAL, the cheapest one. It's a prototype, man. Not going with high-end stuff. Till the time I have a really nice keyboard design in mind. Just a minute, guys. Sorry, guys. I got a call from my sister, so I had to take that call. Today is the day you have to take those calls today. You cannot run away from that today. So just doing that was I was doing that. So now I have put a few PCB mounts switches in place so that the PCB does not stay away from the plate. And what this will allow me to do is have a very accurately placed switches. Now I'll put in all the white switches. I love these sounds, man. I love this sound. Again, like I said in my previous stream, if you're looking to get clicky switches, go for click bar from Kale. I'll show you guys something in a bit. Remind me to show you my TVS Gold. There's something else interesting about my TVS Gold. My first switch was box navy, never again. So you're not going to use box navy again, Zorboid, or you're not going to use anything else again? Okay, sorry guys, no more distractions for me. I had to do what I was doing. So one important thing when you are soldering everything, where are my box of switches? You have to make sure the switches are as flushed to the PCB as much as possible. So here I can there should be as less of a gap as possible. Just 1 minute, let me get the switch bag. Boom. Switch bag. To be honest, I've never tried any clicky switches apart from usual cherries. Zorboid. Navies, I have used them, and I personally believe they are too heavy. I mean, they are tiringly heavy. I've used them as my daily driver for a couple of months, and after 2 hours I used to tire out on them. Therefore, I switched to a bit lighter box glazed green. Okay, why is this not going in? Yeah, that was a stubborn switch. So another thing that you have to be careful when you are inserting them in is that the legs are not bent and they are poking straight through. Let me try to focus it. It's not clear. So there are, okay, let me try it from this side. It should come from this side. Yeah, it's again focusing. So there is a copper, okay, let me try that. Yeah. So this copper leg, this is what I'm talking about. There are two on each switch, and when you are inserting, before soldering, make sure that both the copper legs are coming through to the other side of the PCB. Otherwise, if you solder on one leg and then you realize, it will be a pain to undo the solder. The problem with navies is that the click bar is so thick that they have to go. So I mean, if you read about J's, the early J's had an issue where they would not come up on certain situation because the weight was right at the, you know, right at the position where it would either work or it will not work at all, right? So, and they did increase the weight size and made them navy. So, yeah, but then their sound is the best. There is no competition to their sound. I'll do the bottom one first so that it doesn't. So sometimes when you are doing the edge towards the PCB, there will be chances where the PCB will try to slide down and it will not let the switch go in. So on the other side I put my thumb so that PCB doesn't have the room to move, and then with a little bit of force, 1 minute, this is another stubborn switch, it's stuck somewhere. Yeah, so basically put something between the PCB and the plate that the plate doesn't have the room to move and it will simply slide down. Easy peasy. One, two, and three. This, yes, I got this off AliExpress, I think. That was pretty cheap. I got it for $7 shipped to India. Yeah, I didn't find this locally either. I think this tool has a name. I think we are using it as a switch puller, but I am not sure if it's really a switch puller. So if we know the exact term from the manufacturer perspective, we should be able to find them. Why is this one not going in? What is the problem? Whew. This looks fine. Yeah, there we go. Done. Finally. I got a bundler. I got 3 of them. That boring. Ah, okay. Where did you got them from? Okay, AliExpress again. Now comes the fun part. Soldering. It's an IC puller. I don't agree it's an IC puller. Or maybe it is. Does it? Oh. Okay. It can be used to pull out an IC, so yeah. It could be an IC puller as well. Okay. Today we have something interesting. I have caster solder today. So before I continue, I'm just inspecting if I can see any switch that has not completely come through from the holes. Bum, bum, bum. This one is all, see, found one. No, it's fine. So always check, double check and triple check before you solder anything. Because once it is soldered on, you are going to have a really hard time to take off the solder if you don't have the right tools for it. Now, how do I go about my switches? I generally solder on one leg only. One minute. I need to get my flux. 1 minute. Where is my flux? One moment, guys. Yeah. One very important tool of soldering is a good flux. It will make your life 100 times easy. I mean, if you are getting soldered locally, most of the wires, solder wire that you get don't have flux, or they have a pretty poor quality flux in them. So try to get a good flux. It will ease your life considerably while soldering. And don't be restrictive about how much flux you use when soldering. But don't forget to clean the PCB with IPA once you are done soldering, because these solder, though important for soldering, they will destroy the PCB in the long run. So you have to get them off. So it's both a boon and a curse at the same time. So I have put solder on the half PCB. So if you know it's a IC puller, you can check other websites that provide ICs in India. They should have it available. Just Google IC puller India on the website. So I'll mostly do one single leg. So what I'm doing, I am putting the iron on the leg and pressing as much as I can. Not enough to break, but enough to put that switch completely in. So there's another way you can do. So I have put solder on this switch, right? Now I am pressing it from both sides on the PCB and on the switch, and I'm just reflowing that solder so that the switch does not have any other place but to go down, and once the solder dries, it's in the correct place. Also, look at the shine. Look at the shine on the solder. This tells you it's a good job or a bad job. Okay, if it's shining, you have soldered it properly. Now I'll run through a few of them. I won't be talking much. So what I have done is I have soldered a few of switches in one go, and now I'll do that reflow and press. You need to do it only on few of the switches. Once they are settled, you don't have to do it again. Just one row is enough. Also, since I have additional switches that I don't want to be soldered, I'm keeping an eye on them. Luckily for me, the SMD switches are in black color and the one really going into the PCB are white. So for me it's easy to distinguish. But what do you do when you have black or the same color in both? I just check the small holes. They will tell you. Lead free won't shine, right? Stay away from lead free. That's my advice. I mean, it's very hard to use, especially when you are a hobbyist. I don't feel it to be of any benefit because you, first of all, are not using enough solder to create a lot of damage or do a lot of damage, and you are not getting any return from that sacrifice. I mean, luckily in India we do not have to follow the ROHS thing, so yeah, no need to worry about leaded or unleaded. But yes, on your question, once the solder dries, lead free will not shine. Let me just increase the temperature on the iron a little bit. I am reflowing the solder just to make sure it is done properly. Just 1 minute. Okay, back to it. Okay, let's do one leg without where I have not put solder and try to compare it. So, yeah, I hope I'm able to show it properly. This particular solder is done without any extra flux. This one is done with flux. Now, for the most part, they will look same. But if you put against the light directly, I mean, I can see it in person, not sure if you are able to see on the screen. But this is a bit more shinier than this one. So that's the difference flux will make. So anybody waiting for Cyberpunk 2077? At least I am waiting for that game to come out, and I'm saving money to get a decent GPU. Ampere is coming soon, so I'm waiting for it to be released. They are saying somewhere in September, October we'll get it. So that's when I'll get it. I'll be targeting something like a 1660 Super or equivalent. Okay, Zorboid, see you in a bit. Okay, I have done one leg of each switch. Now I'll remove the positioning ones and put in the actual switches that are supposed to go in. Yep. Let's put in final bit of flux on the new switches I have put in. Then we'll solder them permanently into position. Yep. Let's get on with soldering. इतना सन्नाटा क्यों है भाई चैट में? So nobody is interested in gaming? Okay guys, see you in a bit. Welcome back, Zorboids. I was saying I'm interested. I'm waiting for 2077, Cyberpunk 2077 to come out. Shame they have to delay it till November That either is going to be the best game of the year or biggest hype failure. It's too much hype about that game. Cyberpunk 2077 from CD Projekt Red. The one with Keanu Reeves as an NPC. I watched the live reveal lol. Yeah, even I did. And they went crazy when he came. In fact, even I went crazy when I saw him. First, I thought I'm not sure why he is there on the stage. Then I thought he might be just doing the anchoring kind of thing. But then the trailer was just epic. But I doubt, I mean, I'm not sure we are getting too hyped about that game. I just don't want it to become a disappointment, the biggest disappointment of the year. Which, due to the hype it's getting, it could. John Wick is so much hype. Hey Taz, how are you? Welcome to the stream. I am almost finished building one half of the keyboard and I have to go at 6, so I'm not sure if I'll continue doing the second half today. But I will do one round of keycap test on it and see how it fits. So Taz, I have made this pretty much a guide as a video reference guide for you all. So I'll link it when I'm sending you the keyboard to you, the kit to you. You can reference these words as a follow-on guide, as well as I'll do a written guide for you all. Can you show the case? This is pretty much the case. So this is a layered FR4 plate. So plate, PCB, and then similar to this will be the plate. So it will be kind of like this. This is how it's going to be. So this is how the assembled keyboard will look like. So let me just inspect everything once. This one needs a bit more of solder. So how do you know the solder is proper on the switch or not? When you are looking onto the soldered pin, the solder should look like something like a Hershey's Kiss, the chocolate. Yes, this one is scale box white. I'm doing it for another guy who requested me to build a keyboard for him. So this will be the guide as well as this keyboard that will be shipping out to him. Yeah, not me, Zorboid, somebody else. That's so this pretty much looks fine to me. I don't see anything amiss. So only this one switch needs a bit of solder. Rest all are pretty much fine. I'll do that now. Done. And again, a very important thing, once you are done solder, try to clean the PCB with IPA as much as possible. You don't want too much of flux to remain because it will all eat through your PCB traces. I wonder how it compares to box navy and box jade. I'll give you an idea in a minute. So it's a lot lighter than jades and navies, not just because of the spring, but because also on the weight required to pass the click bar. The thickness of click bar makes these really light compared to box navies. The only problem with jades is that sometimes they can feel sluggish because the weight of the click bar and spring is quite evenly matched. So most of the time they work fine, but sometimes there is just that sluggishness that you feel. Ooh, the sound of that box. So what keycaps are you running, Taz? MDA Big Bone. So how thick it is compared to a GMK? So guys, I'm spending a lot of time in cleaning the PCB. Do not skip this time because the flux will eat away your traces and reduce the life of your keyboard or perhaps any PCB that you are soldering on. So MDA was introduced by KBD fan only. It's a kind of a proprietary switch keycap. Not, I haven't seen anybody else making them. Please correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. I found that I have one leg that is not soldered on. I'll do it now. Two rather. Message retracted, thickness 1.44. Wow, that is a thick keycap. So you'll be getting a very bassy, very heavy sound, almost like with MTA or even with SA keycaps. I would like to hear them. Could you record the audio and post it on the chat? Not chat, but on your YouTube or somewhere on the Reddit? It's not done properly. Yeah, now we can try some keycaps on this and see how they sound. So person who requested me to build this keyboard also has sent keycaps to be used with it. So we will be trying them out. So these are from Ducky. What joke are you all? Yahul? Sorry for butchering that name. This is something purple, some kind of purple, I don't know. Okay, Zorboid, have a good day, buddy. Enjoy your rest of the fine evening. Pray, Yahul, pray. All you can do right now is pray for your order to not to attract a lot of custom, because people are being fined pretty extensively. Where is the V key in this? Here it is. We need caps lock. Hopefully this is caps lock. Where is the left enter? Sorry, the left shift. Now looking for the escape key. Wow, you are getting all that in single package? Where is escape? Here it is. By Jan next year, so I think things will settle down by then. So I won't worry about it then. But still, pray. I'll put some unused keys on those just to see how they look. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need one more. Let's use this. MT3. Hey Sagar. Laser and MT3. MT3 is a really nice profile for typing. I mean, I use it in my office environment and they are pretty fine keycaps. Ta-da! One hand is done. Ananya, that's lucky, man. No customs. That's really good Rakhi gift for you. Right. I told you to talk to me about, to remind me about my TVS Gold. Let me unplug it. Okay. I have, okay, due to restrictive wiring, I won't be able to bring the switch in proper frame, but listen to this. This is a modded TVS Gold, and I have used box glazed green. These are not jades, these are box glazed green. They sit between white and jade in terms of weighting, in terms of click bar and everything. Okay guys, I am done for today's build. I have to now go for some other work, but this is how the left hand of ErgoCape keyboard looks like. I'll be doing another stream in a couple of days. I'll let you know about it. I'll let everyone know about it. So Gaurav, none of my switch in this area, so this and the TVS Gold are not lubed. They are stock as they came. And yes, box switches are really smooth natively. Okay guys, then enjoy rest of your evening. I'll be closing the stream now. Have fun. Happy Rakhi to all.